Hi guys, welcome back to a new video. Now today we are going to be doing something a little bit different than usual. This is going to be a new series I'm going to start, and it is going to be my first impression of albums. So I'll take an album that I've either just listened to recently, or I'll take an album that I've had some kind of musical journey with, or just an album I want to talk about and share my first impression of it. And if it's an album that I haven't listened to recently and I have already been listening to it for a while, then I will say the growth that I had with that album. But today we start that series with an album that I've just heard, and I know that this might seem pretty insane that I've only now heard this, but past few weeks, I've been getting into some Daft Punk. Now, I know that's pretty, if people who watch me will probably be like, well, that's kind of weird. You don't listen to that kind of music. You listen to progressive rock and metal, stuff like that. Yeah, I know. I'm expanding my music genres, thank you. No. But yes, and I've really taken a liking to their music, and I've listened to pretty much all their albums. Listened to most of Homework, but I haven't finished that one. But I've listened to Discovery and Human After All in its entirety and enjoyed them, and I might do a future episode on those albums later, but for now, we're talking about the one that I just now heard, which is Random Access Memories. Now, if you clicked on this video, you probably don't need me to explain all of the history behind it and stuff that happened. And I don't want these videos to be 20 minutes long. These are just kind of short reviews. They're not supposed to be that long, so I'll keep it on I'll spare you with all the details because I know quite a bit. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to go through the songs and tell you how I felt about them, add my first impression of them, and then maybe in a few months we can do an update video for some of these albums and be like, hey, I used to think this song was okay, now I love it. So, we start off with Give Life Back to Music, which I think is a really good song. Definitely not the best on the album. It's one of the best, but it's not the best. Has nice guitar, and it has some nice vocals from one of them. I don't know who does the vocals on these songs. But yeah, it has just nice work in general. Not very electronic, which is kind of, I read about this album before I listened to it, so I knew it wasn't gonna be electronic. I kind of knew what this album was gonna be because I've heard snippets of all these songs, but never in full. So yeah, Give Life Back to Music I like. Next song is The Game of Love, which isn't as good. I'd say it's definitely not as good as Give Life Back to Music. It's probably one of the weaker songs on the album, but I still like it. Third song is Giorgio by Marauder. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I really don't know. This song, at least right now, probably my favorite Daft Punk song. Yes, even more than Touch or Digital Love or Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger or Too Long. This song is amazing. The spoken word at the beginning is interesting, and I think it's needed for the song. It needs some atmosphere, and his voice definitely creates the atmosphere of the song, which I don't know if that's, Anyway, so then it starts out, I love how it starts out very simple and slowly gets more, God damn it, I can't think of the word. It gets more, just good, as it goes on, and it gets more complex, especially those drums. If you know me, I'm a drummer, and man, those drums are pounding. I think his name was Omar Hakim or something. The dude on drums, he's awesome, especially on that song. And there's a drum solo / bass solo in the song. Awesome. And then it has like some orchestration, which I love as well. Yes, definitely the best song on the album. Then we get to Within, which it's good. I like the chorus a lot. It's definitely more down. It's kind of definitely more chill. I like the vocals as well. It's very chill again, but I like it. And then the next song, Lose Yourself to Dance, is, I don't know, it features Pharrell Williams, and I've always thought his voice, and, well, I mean, I'll say always, I've only listened to this album once. I thought that his voice on the chorus wasn't, I mean, no, not the chorus, his voice on the chorus sounds fine, but his voice in the verses, I don't really, they're not great. Yeah, they're not great, but on the chorus is really good and groovy. Also, just realized I think I forgot to talk about Instant Crush, which, some people in the comments are proud or yelling at their screens going, "You forgot Instant Crush." Be quiet. Okay, so this song, honestly, I know a lot of people probably like it. I don't really seem to like it. It's not bad. It has a good chorus. It has a good hook, but you can't understand what he's saying ever, and it sounds the most basic out of all the songs. And it was the second most popular song on the album, which, I mean, I guess it's definitely the most, poppy song on the album, probably. Next song, it's Touch, which is another journey. It's so, this is the most I got the two songs, the two epics, the Giorgio Moroder, I can't speak, Giorgio by Moroder and Touch are both they're both epics in my opinion, and they both are epic, and they're both really complex in their arrangements, and I have a hard time thinking of which one is more prog, because they're both kind of prog. I'm not gonna lie, they're both kind of prog, and which is probably the reason why those are my two favorites off the album. But whatever, it's great. It's emotional, and kind of should have been the last song. I feel part of me wishes it was the last song instead of in the middle. Like, come on, guys, really? I get that Contact is a nice closer, because it's like them leaving the earth, but I think my prog heart just wants Touch to be the last song. But yeah, next song is Get Lucky, which, I mean, song was very popular, definitely the biggest hit off the album, and I think it's fine. I think it's pretty good. It's definitely a bit repetitive, and then it's like 6 minutes. It's kind of, I don't know. You think like, oh, they kind of extended it a bit too long, which I think they kind of did, but hey, it's not usually a bad thing. So I was like, okay, it says 6 minutes. That's not too bad. And then I see that they made a Get Lucky remix. Haven't listened to that one yet. Click on it just to see what it is, and it's 10 minutes. Really? You think that 6 minutes isn't good enough, so you go for 10? I mean, who knows? It could be better, but we'll see. So then we have, what's next on the album? I'm not going off. I don't know if you guys can tell that I'm not going off a script or anything, or even I don't even have the album in front of me. I don't even have the album. But next song on the album is Beyond, which I think it's pretty good as well. All these songs are good. Beyond has a really good orchestral beginning, but then the rest of the song is nothing like that. And I think it could have I think it should have played in with the normal, like, down, like the more chill part of the song, more. Like, maybe there's subtle orchestration in there, and maybe there is, and I'm just really stupid, but that's what I think in general, is that they should have incorporated the orchestra at the beginning in the other parts of the song and kind of, make it come back, and maybe it'll be more cohesive. Next song is probably my least favorite off the album, Motherboard. It's fine. It's kind of weird. It's definitely the most weird song on the album, and definitely ties in more with Contact, with that spacey, alien theme, which isn't bad, but it's not that good, and definitely goes on for too long. Next song is Fragments of Time, which I've always thought is kind of it's the deepest song on the album, even though Touch is maybe more emotional in its execution. Fragments of Time is more deep because he's talking about how Todd Edwards, who did vocals on Face to Face, did he do vocals on any other song? I don't think so. But he basically talking about how he never wants this to end. He wants to live when Daft, and it's kind of like a bit more deep now that they have broken up, because like before it was just like, oh yeah, you can still technically do that. They're still technically a band, but now that they've broken up, that's not the case, and it kind of hits harder in a way. The next song, Doing It Right, is definitely the most stereotypical song on this album in terms of, their other discography. It's more in line with their other albums. And I think it's one of the weaker off the album, but I still like it. Although Panda Bear, who's featured on the album, on this song, I don't think he really, he's not great. But anyway, then we got the closer, Contact, which, man, I just gotta say that the drumming on this album, especially on Giorgio by Moroder and Contact, man, those songs are great. Contact is great, but the drumming is really what makes those two songs stand out. But yeah, I think it's great, and it's a nice closer. It's kind of weird. Again, it has a weird outro, which I'm not too fond of, but hey, the rest of the album is good, and the rest of the song is amazing, so it evens out. Overall, I really liked it. Probably my favorite of their albums, but I will see if that changes. This is just on my first impression, so yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then leave a like and subscribe, and post a comment of your ranking of the album, or just your review of the album, or what you think of the album. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you disagree with me? Leave it in the comments down below, and subscribe for more videos like these, and also my song name videos. I'm still working on them. I have a couple in mind, but they take a long time to edit, so they won't be out for a while. But see ya.